to the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast, your one-stop shop for television, movie, video games, comic books, book reviews, and more. Now, without further ado, here's Steven and Mike.
You talk first. I talk first.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Two Geeks and a Microphone show. I am your co-host, Mr. Stephen Buster, along with the one, the only, Mr. Michael Shanks. Mike, say hey to everybody.
Good morning to all you geeks out there in Geekdom Land.
I am excited for today because not only are we talking about Tales of the Jedi, but even more importantly, we are utilizing a brand spanking new streaming platform. We are on StreamYard, and this is our first time, so we're testing it out and seeing how things are. So if you want to comment in the comment section to let us know, because we're still trying to figure that out too.
Well, yeah, when you said that, I was like, oh, wait, I got to switch over to comments.
Right? Hey, everybody, I'm going to put that on there and stuff. So so there may be a little bit of a delay getting back and forth to everyone, but I think what's cool is we can actually pick like all platforms, which platforms, and see what's working and what's not. So we are still figuring this out. Looks like we're doing pretty good.
And speaking of
Brenda, hey everybody. Brenda says your mic is in the way of seeing your goatee, so I guess we better
Well, yeah, I was just going to say, speaking of switching to a new streaming service, so we had thrown out a what did we call it? A drive, I guess.
Yes, it was a drive to, Restream was up for renewal, and we were like, well, let's, we'll do a drive to see if we can get some money to help pay for that because it's quite expensive. And in the process, we got exposed to StreamYard and by some friends, and we'll talk about that in just a few minutes. And then, and so we decided to look into it, and we're liking it much more. Better. Cheers, everybody.
So a part of that drive was if we made our goal, which we didn't quite make the goal for Restream, but we made the goal to switch to StreamYard. So part of that was I would color my goatee orange.
Aha.
If you are watching the video, it is quite orange. I'll also post a picture on Ko-fi and on Facebook too. So
right,
those of you listening will be able to see my orange beard. My very, very orange beard. Which originally I was going to do it green, but considering I have a green screen behind me, my wife,
it would be kind of funny.
Yeah, she's like, your half your face won't show up if you do it green. I was like, oh yeah, you're right. Yep. So I decided to go with orange. So
yeah. So I'm walking through some of the comments. Go for Fuffernut. Good morrow, kind sirs. Good to see you. Hey, could you let us know if I tried to send a note to saying, hey, everybody on Twitch, let me know if that showed up or not. Roger said Facebook is working. Great.
Awesome.
Megan says YouTube is looking good too. We got someone saying, yo, hey, welcome. Brenda said, did pretty good job. Looks pretty good. Just kept the goatee. Yes, she did a great job on that.
She did it. She actually did it. So I can't really take credit for it. I ordered it, and I'm the result of it.
So very exciting, everybody. all kinds of new things all around. New goatee color, new StreamYards that we went ahead and invested in. And because we had looked at it, we did a test run one night. Our friends from Three Geeky Dads joined in to kind of, they just hopped right in, and then we were able to share an invite with them, and they got right on. And I used it. I have another podcast that I tested it with. We just did the record only. We didn't go live, and it worked great. It worked fine. There was no hangups, no slowdowns, no hard, things. It was fabulous. So we invested in everybody, and now we are using StreamYard. Now we got to talk about who introduced StreamYard to us. Hi, Janelle.
Good morning, Janelle.
Who introduced StreamYard to us?
So I got introduced to StreamYard through our friend Chris Mott of Mocktails from the Cantina. Chris has been using StreamYard since he started doing his YouTube channel, Mocktails. And, I threw it out to Steve, and I was like, well, hey, Chris uses this all the time, and he really likes it. And I think he uses the free version still, because his still got the little duck in the corner and everything.
Yeah. For those of you who are like, duck in the corner, which one are you talking about? This duck in the corner.
So yeah, I think he's still using the free one, because if you use the free one, you have to have the watermark of their logo and such. So
gotcha.
But yeah, so big thanks to Chris Mott for introducing us to StreamYard, and for the next year we'll be testing this sucker out and see how it does.
Oh, Brenda said usually there is a delay from Facebook and YouTube. Yeah, it's like a minimum 5 to 10 seconds. They're saying it's only about 1 second delay now.
Nice.
Oh,
nice.
That's nice for the comments, so we can get them back and forth quicker. Good. I like that. Yeah, thank you. So, hey, everybody, if you're listening to our podcast on your favorite podcast platform, obviously you're like, well, I can't see you on Saturday mornings. We do these live. And so if you can join us, we'd love to have you and comment. The community that's being built is just fabulous. It's just great.
And you can always go back and watch us on YouTube if you can't join us live.
Yeah.
Either,
so. And our Facebook page.
Yeah, Facebook. We're on Facebook and Twitch.
We're on Twitch. I don't think can you go back and see it on Twitch? You can go back and see it on Twitch.
I think for up to 2 weeks.
Yes.
It's on Twitch.
Yeah. Brian, welcome, Brian. Brian says, well, looks like someone met their pledge drive goal.
Well, yeah, kind of. Yeah. Speaking of that, Brian, you need to check your account too.
Excuse me. Right. Oh my goodness. That's great. Well, hey everybody. I'm so glad you can make it today. We've got a lot to cover today. Well, not a whole lot, but we've got certain topics that are going to take a little bit to discuss and talk about because they're very exciting. So with that, Mike, I would love to get your what's the word? Start with the news.
Geeky news. I still don't have a sounder. I gotta work on a sounder for that one. But yes, so we have geeky news today.
Wait a minute, I'll do it again. Welcome everybody, the news as it happens. Okay. All right, there you go.
All right, so today's geeky news. We've all complained about DC and everything that's going on in the DC movie universe, and the fact that it's just a messed up jumble over there. They don't seem to know what they're doing. Well, things are about to get shaken up over DC, because DC has finally found and put in place their Kevin Feige. And it is none other than James Gunn himself. James Gunn, the director of Suicide Squad 2. He was also the director for Guardians of the Galaxy, which he's got to finish up all of his Guardian stuff over at Marvel. In fact, there was a video I saw Kevin Feige. Somebody asked Kevin Feige what he thought about the fact that James Gunn is going to be him in the DC universe.
Yeah.
And Kevin said, well, first he's got to finish up his Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas and Guardians of the Galaxy 4, and then you guys can have him. And he says, and then I'm excited to see what he's going to do with DC after he finishes his Guardians stuff. So apparently he's got to finish up some Marvel tasks before he makes the full move over here. But apparently it's James Gunn and Peter Safran. Safran. They will be the co-leads. I guess that's the
co-heads.
Yeah. Co-heads.
That like sounds kind of funny too.
I know. It's like a towhead. Yeah, I don't know what the official title is, but they will be the heads of the DC studios. And I just heard that it's no longer considered the DCEU, but it's now just the DCU. Brian said, Coneheads.
Coneheads?
We are from France. Nice. I love the Coneheads movie. That was a great movie. It was a great bit on Saturday Night Live. Back when Saturday Night Live was funny. Anyway, sorry. So yeah, James Gunn is taking over. He has already stated this. He has 5 things that he wants to focus on coming into taking over this position.
Okay.
Number 1, Superman.
Yeah, right on. About freaking time.
Yes.
And to continue off of our Black Adam.
Yes.
Who's back? Who's back?
Henry Cavill's back, baby.
That's
Man of Steel himself. Yes.
I'm pretty pumped.
I am
pretty
too.
pumped.
Oh my gosh. I am so excited that Henry Cavill is back. He is my favorite Superman since Christopher Reeve. I think he's the best, honestly. He has done such a good job, and he's been, let's face it, crapped on by Warner Brothers. So
yeah, did you hear the rumor? Did we talk about that rumor? About
that Dwayne Johnson just went directly to the head of Warner Brothers and said,
yeah,
give me Henry.
Yeah, because Walter Hamada was just like, he didn't want him, and so then he went up, and then guess who's now gone? And what propagated this whole thing? Hamada's gone.
You know, the only thing that would make that story better would be if we were told that Dwayne Johnson came in and body slammed him or something. I would so love that. Puts him in a headlock, you know.
Right.
Look, you're gonna bring back Henry, you know, and then gives the big the eye. Yeah,
right,
like he does. So yeah, number 1 is Superman. That's number 1 on his list. Number 2, Batman. Now, it's going to be interesting where they go with the Batman. Because I mean, we already have The Batman, which was a very successful film, but obviously The Batman is not in the same universe as our Justice League is. So it's not going to fit with the Justice League. So are they going to continue with that just being separate continuity, which I hope they do, honestly. So, and we know that Michael Keaton Batman is getting introduced in the Flash movie, which is still happening. But we've also heard that some scenes got changed in that film. And I think Ben Affleck is going to take a little bit more prominent role than he originally had.
Okay.
And then we've also heard rumors that scenes in the Aquaman movie, because Batman was supposed to make an appearance in the Aquaman movie, but it was supposed to be the Michael Keaton Batman. Now I'm hearing it's Ben Affleck. So that tells me Ben Affleck is back in the DC universe. Good morning, Chris Mott. Speaking of the great Chris Mott.
Chut. We were just talking about you.
Yes. Chris is about to celebrate his 100th episode, by the way. So check out Mocktails from the Cantina. He is a good friend of ours. He's been on the show, and we hope to have him back, Chris, to talk about Andor when it wraps up. I am excited to see your thoughts on Andor.
Yeah. Chris,
So
it was all good. We actually gave you credit for introducing us to StreamYard,
yes,
which
we
is
did.
now what we're using. And
Yes.
yes, and then we made a comment about the duck being in the corner, and so I showed the duck. Here's the duck. There's the duck, powered by StreamYard.
Nice. All right. So number 2 is Batman. So big question is, where do we go with Batman? Do we get a solo Batfleck movie? I personally think that there needs to be a solo Batfleck. You know,
Okay,
I
agreed. Agreed. I would
mean,
love to see it.
you
The
know,
the battle hardened Batman. I'd
yeah,
love to see it.
I would too. I mean, I've enjoyed what we've had of him so far,
Mhm.
but I just don't feel that he's getting his due without having a solo film. I think he
Yeah.
needs a solo film.
Real
You know?
quick, I would still love to see. I want your opinion on this.
Okay.
Batman versus Deathstroke.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, sorry.
Ah, dang it! Now I got to put the E on the podcast.
Are you kidding me? I want that scene that, that they had filmed. I guess it was like a test scene or whatever with, what's his name? Joe, I can't think of the guy's name.
Mangione,
Yeah,
whatever.
I
Yeah,
can't say his name.
the big D&D player. Yeah, he
Yeah.
was in the the Purge movies, wasn't he? Was he in some of the Purge movies too?
I don't know. Janelle just posted skip. I don't know what she's skipping. I hope she's not skipping us.
Skip this.
Skip this. Skip you. Skip off. Get into all our skip stuff. Or maybe she's asking if you would Steven skip it. I don't know. Or maybe she's saying she would skip the Batman versus Deathstroke. Now, I would not skip that at all. Deathstroke's one of my all-time favorite DC characters, and I love it when he goes up against Batman. That is one of my favorite fights, let's just say, versus. So, okay, so Batman's number 2. Moving on. Number 3 is Wonder Woman with
Wonder
Gal Gadot.
Woman. Okay.
So,
Okay.
I mean, that means the holy trinity of DC Universe is going on as as Zack Snyder had casted. These are Zack Snyder's casts. He casted Henry Cavill. He casted Ben Affleck. He casted Gal Gadot. So, that kind of tells me that Zack may be back too.
I hope so. That would be great.
I don't think we will see the Justice League trilogy that he had planned. I don't think that'll happen because I believe they've went in a slightly different direction than that. But that doesn't mean that he can't come in and direct. Like, he could come in and do Man of Steel too. So I'm excited about that possibility. That'll be cool. His number 4 priority is Aquaman, and we all know who Aquaman is. So
Jason Momoa.
right. So Jason continues. Number 5. This was a surprise to me. His 5th one is Harley Quinn, which came as a little bit of a surprise to me. I mean, I know she's a huge character. I love Harley. Harley's one of my favorite characters too. Always has been. Ever since she was introduced back in the Batman animated days, which is the best animated cartoon in history.
Yeah.
But I didn't really think of her as a priority in the DCU, at least not that high up on the list anyway. I would have probably put Joker up above that, but she's getting ranked up higher than the Joker, at least on his to-do list. So,
wow,
yeah.
what a list.
Yeah, I agree totally. So, some things that I would like to see happen.
Okay.
Since we got Black Adam and we got the introduction to the Justice Society. Unfortunately, the Justice Society was not on his list, but I want to see the Justice Society continue. I want to see that develop more.
Yeah.
I want a Man of Steel 2, and I want Brainiac. I want a Man of Steel 2 with Brainiac in it. We've never gotten a good, true. I mean, we got a decent Brainiac in the Krypton series. That wasn't a bad series, actually. He was pretty good, but I want a full-on movie version of Brainiac. I think that would be amazing.
Okay.
And I already said I want a Batfleck solo film. And yes, I would love it if it was Batfleck versus Deathstroke. That would be amazing. So those are just some of the things that I want to see happen in the DCU because it's no longer the DCEU.
Yeah.
Enough with Alex Luthor and his land grab schemes. I agree, Brian. If we're gonna bring Lex in, I want him in the. I want him in the power suit. I want to see a full-on Lex power suit. That would be amazing.
Right.
But I want Brainiac more than I want Lex in a power suit.
I don't know. Lex in a power suit would be good.
Oh, it would be great, but I want Brainiac.
Yeah.
You know who else I'd like to see? And I'd like to see what the reactions are to this. I wouldn't mind seeing Bizarro Superman.
Bizarro. Wouldn't that be
awesome.
interesting?
That would be fun. I'd like to see what they would do with that in a live action version. That'd be interesting. So I think James Gunn has his work cut out for him.
Agreed.
And hopefully he is listening to The Rock, because I look at The Rock as one of us, and The Rock said, listen to the fans. They will lead you in the right direction. So these are the things we're saying, guys.
Yep. Very exciting.
And James is a fan too. So, what he did with Suicide Squad 2 was amazing. So
yeah. Even brought in Starro. Who knew that was going to happen?
Yeah, and I thought Starro would be a horrible, enemy for the big screen, and actually it was fantastic.
It was fun. It was true to the comics. It really was.
Oh, yeah, Roger said they did bring Bizarro on the TV show. Yes, they did. I think they had Bizarro on the Smallville series at one point. But I want to see a Henry Cavill version of Bizarro. That's what I want. I think that'd be, kind of give him the whole zombie look and everything. That would be fun.
That would be good. That would be good. We've already got a glimpse of it in The Witcher, where he took the medicine and then his face went white and the eyes changed and stuff. So
I tried watching the first episode of The Witcher. I can't get past Henry's blonde hair.
Oh, the white ashen hair.
It bugs me.
It's part of the character. I got you. It's all right. It's okay.
I don't know. He looks weird. Here I am with an orange beard saying he looks weird with blonde.
Right.
I guess that's the kettle calling or pot calling the kettle black or whatever.
Right on.
Whatever the saying is. I don't know.
Yep.
Anyway,
so what's the
right through it? It's worth it, Janelle says.
It is. I've watched both seasons.
All right. I'll give it another shot. I'll give. You know what? For you guys, I'll give it another shot.
There's a great fight sequence in the first season that's just fabulous. The what do they call him? The Blaviken, the Butcher of Blaviken. And so you get that sequence of why he gets that name.
Nice.
And it's incredible fight sequence. Incredible. So, okay. Any other news that you have on your plate
that's all
for us today? Okay. What about it's time for Geekdar?
All right. Let me play the sounder.
Well, you don't need that, Private. We're right here. Now, what is it? Now, what is it?
I'm having trouble with the radar, sir.
What's wrong with it?
I've lost the bleeps, I've lost the sweeps, and I've lost the creeps.
The what? The what? And the what?
You know, the bleeps, the sweeps, and the creeps.
It's not all he's lost.
On StreamYard, I could hear that more clearer.
Wait. You could hear it much more better.
Much more better. Oh, yeah, everybody, there's my rock star for today.
I'm drinking iced coffee.
Ooh, nice. So I could hear the laughter, like when he started to break out a character in that clip, much more better on this. So That's awesome. Well, we probably need to see if we can get that video clip and see if we can play that at some point. But anyway, okay. So, what is on your Geekdar?
Okay, well, I don't have a lot of stuff. I actually do not have it. Well, I've got tons of comic books. I always have comic books. Just haven't really read anything this week. Bought things, but I haven't read them as usual. But so my Geekdar this week is actually going to be another podcast, one that we tout all the time, the Three Geeky Dads, because I've been catching up on their podcast. They kind of started something new over the last few weeks. They're doing what they call the Escape Pod, where any one of the Geeky Dads can do basically like a solo show with a guest of their choice or something.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah. So Mark's been doing the first few Escape Pods, and he's been doing it with a friend of his, Dean, who is also a artist. And they've been going over some of their favorite horror movies. So that's been really fun. I've enjoyed that. And then their latest episode, the main podcast, it was Freddy versus Jason. So it was like the Freddy franchise, the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise versus the Friday the 13th franchise. Which I thought was a great concept. They did a good job and had a lot of fun with that. So,
so check it out, everybody.
Yeah, definitely check out the There's a nice little plug for Brian,
for our good friends. Yes, for our good friends is the Geeky Dads. Cool. Well, nice. I don't have anything on Geekdar only because I've been gone all. Yeah, I've been gone all week. I left early last Sunday morning. I spent the rest of the day Saturday right after the podcast to just pack and make sure I had everything together and get things situated. Then left early, went to Denver, and I was there for the week. I got back early Thursday morning. Well, it was probably late morning when I got in finally. Just beat the snow that hit Denver, but they still had to de-ice the plane before we even got in the air. And so it was crazy.
Yeah, that's funny. Your wife posted last Sunday that you guys got snow there in Montana. And
it did.
My wife commented back, yeah, and Michael's running around here in shorts and 80-degree weather.
Yeah, we got our first snow. It was snowing when I left Bozeman, and they had to clean off the plane, so it delayed our flight and stuff because we had already gotten like 4 inches and stuff.
Wow.
So yeah.
Yeah, you
so
can keep that crap.
Yeah, I will say this. I met people from all over the world. So there was a wonderful woman from Belgium that I got to meet.
Wow.
There was another guy from Australia that I got to meet, and he's like, "Have you ever had Tim Tams?" And I'm like, "What? Tim Tams?
What is Tim Tams?"
So it's a cookie. It's a chocolate cookie that in Australia they use it to dip in their coffee and stuff, and you can find them in some grocery stores because Tim Tam, it was an Australian baker who created them, and he was visiting the United States, and he was at a racetrack, and he was trying to find inspiration for kind of a name and stuff, and the horse that won the races was named Tim Tam.
Oh wow.
And so that's where he named them. And the cookie's been around for like 50 some odd years or something like that. So, but they are available. So kind of a foodie Geekdar kind of a thing. Cause let me put it to you this way. One cookie has 90 calories. They are so good.
And how many did you eat?
I was very good.
Wait, he didn't have a Vegemite sandwich?
Nope.
Isn't he supposed to? He's from Australia, right? He's supposed to have a Vegemite sandwich, right?
That's right. Yeah, he was a real nice guy.
That's the way the song goes, right?
Right. Yeah. So it was good. It was a great. I'm part of a network that we are certified trainers in what's called the process communication model, and there are people all over worldwide, and we all got together, kind of re-up our skills, find out what's new, what's going on, and stuff. And so it was a lot of fun, but it was busy. It was a lot of content, a lot of connections, and then even one night we had a chef that came in and prepared like a 5-course meal for us, and he was a hoot, and we all talked, and it was just a great time. Boy, that was like a 7-hour event. It was, yeah. So it was good. So I'm out of Geek Diary, everybody, but I did on Wednesday download all the episodes of Tales of the Jedi onto my phone so I could watch them on the plane.
Nice.
Yep.
And that would be our main event today.
Dun dun dun. Yeah, we're 30 minutes in already.
It's okay. That's all right. So let's get ready. Oh, sorry.
Right.
Somehow I got to come up with some kind of parody of that and use that. But yeah,
Right.
So our main event today is Tales of the Jedi. This was a kind of a last minute decision because we did have another topic planned, but since Stephen was in Colorado this
I
week,
was not going to get a chance to do all that we needed to
wasn't
happen.
gonna get to do that. So he texted me and said, "Hey, are you up to doing Tales of the Jedi?" And I said, "Heck yeah!"
Yes.
All right. So Tales of the Jedi
On Disney Plus.
on Disney Plus. Well, let's start off with this. First of all, the title Tales of the Jedi actually comes from a comic book series that was introduced in the, I want to say 90s or early 2000s. I should have looked that up.
Oh, okay.
It was a it was done by Dark Horse Comics, because at that time Dark Horse had the Star Wars rights for the comic books, and it focused mainly on the old Republic of Star Wars. So like thousands of years before, well, as we would say, BBY, before the Battle of Yavin.
Mhm.
But so this is kind of Disney's way of doing Tales from the Jedi, but they didn't even touch the old Republic, which I would have really been happy with that. That would have been fun
Mhm.
if they would have gotten into that. So hopefully, maybe somewhere down the line, they'll pick up the old Republic stories and start doing some of that. I would really
Mhm.
like that. But in the meantime, what we did get, I wouldn't consider it the original Tales, but these were very good.
They're
I was,
very, very good.
yeah,
Yes.
I was
Mhm.
super impressed with these stories.
Yeah. So do you want to give how do you want to do ratings for the stories? Or do we just say overall, or just
Well, do you want to go through each of, there's 6 stories. I mean,
Mhm.
if I'm going to give the show, it's the whole thing, I'm probably going to rate it in, well, what are we using for our scale?
Right?
You know what?
Right.
It was very Jedi focused, so let's go with lightsabers. What Sage Page?
Hey, Sage Page. What's up, man?
I
Always two
love
there
it.
are, Mike and Steven. The
That's
force is strong
awesome.
with these.
Good morning, Sage. That was awesome. Thank you very much.
Hey,
Uh,
Sage.
Dude, you're
Good
gonna
to
make me
see you.
turn as red as my beard is orange. Anyway, so yeah, let's go. Since it was very Jedi focused, let's go with lightsabers. And
I love it.
I as a whole, all 6 episodes, I think I would give this 9 out of 10 lightsabers. I really I thought
Right
this was
on.
good. Some of the best storytelling they've done in a while, honestly. Um,
Mhm.
if Chris is still in the chat, he's probably gonna not like what I have to say, but much more better than Andor.
Whoop whoop. Right on. Cheers.
Political intrigue that was interesting. Granted, I haven't watched the last 2 episodes of Andor. I got to catch up, so I don't know how the last 2 went, but yeah, I really enjoyed what we got, and it was kind of divided between Ahsoka and Count Dooku, which was
Yes,
really interesting
it
because we don't hear
was.
a lot of stuff about Count Dooku. So I enjoyed
Mhm.
seeing that. That was good.
I took it as like, you know how this is in the same vein as Rebels, as Clone Wars, and especially with Clone Wars. Remember how it was always like 3-episode arcs, 3-episode arcs. This is 6 episodes, which are really 2 arcs of 3 episodes, one for Ahsoka and then the other for Count Dooku. Even though it started with Ahsoka for the first episode, then the next 3 were Count Dooku, and then the last 2 were Ahsoka.
Yes, agreed. Totally.
And I will have to say, overall, I definitely would easily give it a 9 out of 10. Easy 9 out of 10.
Wow, we both agree on this one.
Yeah.
Nice.
I enjoyed. Yeah, Brenda's saying it exactly. Is the backstory. Loved it. Like it was all backstory. It was filling in some gaps on some questions people may have had. But well, we'll go. I don't know if you want to go episode by episode, but I do want to say the one thing that I enjoyed more than anything else with the Count Dooku story was you understood his motivation.
Yes.
And it was great storytelling and all.
Yeah, I think they fleshed him out a little bit better than what we've gotten in the past. I'll admit Count Dooku is, as far as the movies goes, he's not been one of my favorite characters. I get turned off on his name. First of all, his Darth name is way better than his Jedi name because he's Darth Tyrannus.
Yeah.
So we should just be calling him Darth Tyrannus, not Count Dooku. Dooku just sounds terrible. What the heck was George Lucas thinking?
Right.
We'll name this guy Dooku.
Yeah.
Because it's funny. I like funny. And Dooku sounds funny.
But now, under the realm of Darth Tyrannus, would help me understand that his name is really about the tyranny of Senate leaders misusing their powers.
Okay, yeah.
That's where my brain would go and stuff.
All right, well, let's start with the first episode.
Yes.
The title was Life and Death, and the synopsis is this. A year after her birth, an infant, Ahsoka Tano, is taken on her first hunting trip with her mother, Pav T. Both are surprised by a large predatory animal that kidnaps Ahsoka. After Ahsoka subdues the animal and has it return her to the village elders realize she is a Jedi. Wow, the synopsis pretty much gave away the whole episode there too.
Yeah, what synopsis are you looking at?
I'm looking at Wikipedia.
Right on. That's a good synopsis.
Yeah. So I really enjoyed this. I thought it was fun seeing Ahsoka as a baby. I love the fact that you learn that the face markings, that they're not tattoos, that they're actually on her face, and they grow and change as she grows and gets older. And I thought that was cool. It was a nice little detail that I enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. I liked the bonding between mother and daughter.
Yes.
That was good. And I liked how she still respected the old traditions of their people. I thought that was really cool. I liked that. As a supporter of 2A, I have to say I was super impressed with something.
Okay.
When Pav T goes to shoot the I don't know what that thing was. It looked to me like a kangaroo.
Okay.
I have no idea what that was. But she goes to shoot the kangaroo animal, and I noticed she does not put her finger on the trigger until she's about to shoot. Somebody is paying attention there, and I really appreciate that.
Right.
That's excellent detail, and I loved it. I loved this episode. I thought it was fantastic.
Good.
And then we got you got that sense that Padme has a very similar ability to both Anakin Skywalker and to Ezra Miller, where she can kind of control animals.
Ezra Bridger.
Or
Bridger.
yeah, what did I say?
Ezra Miller, the Flash.
Ezra Miller, the Flash. Sorry. Yeah, Ezra Bridger. Sorry. Yeah, because both Ezra and Anakin both seem to have this ability with animals. Yeah, thanks, Brian. I caught that. Brian's pointing out my mistake too. But they both have this ability with animals, and I really thought that was a neat thing to bring out.
Yeah.
I didn't really know that about Ahsoka, so.
Yeah, no, I thought that was good. I was like, ooh, a little more insight to her character, a little more.
Yeah. When she's a baby.
When she's a baby. Yeah, I thought that was really good.
And
really
I liked it
good.
when the elder, when the saber-toothed tiger thing brings her back, and I'm going to call it a saber-toothed tiger because that's what
That's
it
fine. Okay, sounds good.
When that brings her back, and the elder's like, Ahsoka is Jedi. I loved it. I freaking loved it. It was
like, oh, yeah.
And I don't know if Ashley got to voice the baby or not. I do know Ashley Eckstein did come back to voice Ahsoka in the other 2 episodes.
Yes.
I was so happy and relieved that Ashley was back and taking her rightful place as the voice of Ahsoka Tano. Because let's face it, without Ashley, we would not have this character.
To bring it to life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right on. Yeah. I thought the animation to this episode was just phenomenal.
Oh my gosh, incredible. Did you see the water? I was just like, oh my gosh.
The water was good. The trees were good. The grass was good. I mean, it was just, when she went to the forest to hunt, I was just like, this is top-notch animation.
Oh, when they were showing
spare no expense.
Spare no expense, exactly. Man, when they were showing the mountains, it was almost like we were looking at actual mountains. It was amazing. Excuse me.
Oh, sorry. Sage Page, we're going to come back to that when we get to the Dooku episode. That's good. Everybody, if you're on Twitch and you're watching, you can probably see his comment, but I'll put it up on the screen.
Okay. Can you pin that or something? Or
I think I can. Let's see if it does the whole thing. It does.
Oh, nice.
Answering your question as to why he chose it, meaning of Dooku. Poison Dooku is a boy's name of Japanese origin. This name comes from the name Dooku, which happens to mean poison.
Well, listen to that. Sage coming
right on.
Amazing.
Dropping some knowledge.
Sage.
Yeah, Sage. That's why Sage wise.
He's wise. Awesome.
Right.
All right. You got the synopsises up too?
I do actually. Okay. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Finish what you had to say with Life and Death, and then you go through Justice.
Okay. The animation was great, and I love the whole animation. Did you notice though, at the very, very beginning, I caught it for a minute. I meant to go back and watch it for a second time. I just didn't get a chance to watch them again. But the owl figure, the owl that's in the series, the Rebel series, comes and lands on top of the hut at the very beginning.
Oh, I missed that. And I watched it 3 times. Oh, now I gotta watch it a 4th time.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna test something here real quick, everybody. Give me just a second. I apologize for give me just a second. Wait for it.
What's he gonna do?
I'm trying to see where
We're all waiting with bated
I
breath.
can't get it to work. I'm not quick enough. I was gonna see if I could share the screen to see if I could show the picture of it, but I'd have to find it. So I need a little more time to find it. So anyway,
no problem.
Anyway, needless to say, very exciting stuff. So let me go ahead and read. Let me go into Justice. Number 2, Jedi Master Dooku and his Padawan Qui-Gon Jinn are sent to a planet to retrieve the Senator's kidnapped son. As it turns out, the Senator is starving and abusing his people, leading to the kidnapping. As the Senator attacks and threatens to make an example of all involved, Dooku uses a force choke to intervene, but it's stopped by his Padawan before he kills the Senator.
That's interesting that he's a Jedi and he uses the Force choke. That's been something that's been debated for years. Is a Force choke just a uh, Sith tool, or is that can it be utilized by both Jedi and Sith? Of course,
Right.
now Luke Skywalker proves that theory wrong in Return of the Jedi because Luke does use the Force choke on one of the Gamorrean guards.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that's also been questioned. Was Luke leaning towards the dark side there? Because technically, the Gamorrean didn't do anything to him.
Right.
It's not like the Gamorrean was attacking him or anything, But yeah, so I just thought that was interesting that Dooku used a Force choke on that, and it's also interesting because it points out some differences between Dooku and Qui-Gon, but at the same time, you see some of Dooku, or if you think back to Phantom Menace, you can see some of Dooku in Qui-Gon at that point from this episode,
Mm.
because we get Qui-Gon showing how he has a distrust for the Jedi Council, and Qui-Gon shares that. Now, Qui-Gon doesn't share all of Dooku's methods, but he shares a commonality when it comes to not having complete trust in the Jedi Council.
Yeah, the theme in the 3 episodes, the 3 Dooku episodes, does revolve around, do you serve the Senate or do you serve the people?
Yes, agreed.
And I thought that was so good. And if you're serving the Senate, well, guess what? There are some bad senators,
Uh-huh.
and we
Which
need
they point that out in 2 of these episodes. So
they sure do. And we're weeding, I think it was who do the Jedi serve? And I loved it how they said everybody knows the Jedi are just the Senate's lapdogs, kind of a thing.
right. Which, I mean, sometimes that's true. Sometimes that's very true.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Mace Windu. Mace Windu bows to the Senate. He doesn't, he doesn't go against the grain.
Yeah, they did his section really well too.
Yeah.
His personality framework as a Jedi and stuff. Oh, I should do that. I wonder if I should do that. To analyze personality frameworks for each one. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
That's interesting. So we both enjoyed Justice then. We both thought it was
Yes.
good. I also want to point out both of those episodes were written by Dave Filoni too.
Yes.
So we moving on to 3?
Absolutely.
All right.
All
Number
right, go
3
ahead.
is titled Choices. And Jedi Masters Count Dooku and Mace Windu investigate a mysterious death of one of their own. As it turns out, the Senator's guard killed the Jedi in a failed attempt to force the corrupt senator to include them in his plot. After the attackers are subdued, Dooku is passed over as a member of the High Council in favor of Mace Windu, as the council does not condone his aggressive methods.
Mm-hmm.
And all I can think
I've
of,
got to hear your opinion on this.
all I could think of was the line in Phantom Menace when Obi-Wan says to Qui-Gon, "Master, if you would just go along with the council, they would make you one of the members.
Mm-hmm.
They would put you on the council."
Mm-hmm.
And boom, here we are. We're seeing that, we're seeing that side of Qui-Gon, where he gets that from. He gets it from his master, Count Dooku, which I find fascinating.
I always related it to perspective, because it, from a certain point of view, kind of a thing. And I absolutely loved it. And it made me think, at that time, probably one of the most powerful Jedi was Qui-Gon, the most sage, knowledgeable Jedi who saw
Yes.
a bigger picture beyond everybody else, who was sensitive to the Force, probably even more so,
Right.
and why he believed in that child, the chosen one. Do you believe he be the chosen one? Why, yes, I do.
Uh,
So I this episode was great. Again, it was Dooku got passed over. I'm like, oh, he was almost on the council. Dooku was almost on the council.
well, and Joe Castanew, she's the librarian. She's the Jedi Master who's in charge of the library.
Yes.
She even expresses how much adoration she has for Count Dooku in the film.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was like, he was a great master.
Mm-hmm.
So, and she was in these episodes too. She was in, I think, this one in Choices.
Yes.
You see her.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah. Oh, I just saw Brian commented the saber-toothed tiger was a saber-toothed loth cat. Yeah, it kind of looks like that. Sorry, Brian, I completely missed that statement.
Sage Page says this: we're kind of going into the
gosh.
Sith Lord one, but Qui-Gon, in my opinion, was a more follower of the Gray Jedi Code more than anyone else, though it wasn't really fully acknowledged.
No offense, Sage. I hate the Gray Jedi theory.
I like it. I like the Gray Jedi
That's
theory.
funny that you like that. Okay, let's tackle this a minute.
Right.
Mister, I want my good guys to be good guys, and I want my bad guys to be bad guys.
Right.
Wants a morally gray Jedi.
Right.
Okay, explain this to me, Steven.
It's chaotic neutral. No, I'm just kidding. It's not chaotic neutral. I'm kidding. I'm teasing. So the concept of the Gray Jedi is one that doesn't follow extremes. So it's different. So with with good guys being good and bad guys being bad or whatever, it's how you present them. The Gray Jedi is already set up as individuals who are trying to be more balanced, and that's what I like them. More balanced within the Force, recognizing, yes, there is a dark side, yes, recognizing that there is a light side, but how do you balance between them? And so that's where I like that. That is in and of itself a character, probably not between, but almost a third. Imagine a triangle where you have Gray Jedi on one point, you have the Sith and then Jedi. Yeah.
Okay.
That's how I perceive it.
All right. So I'm going to push back just a little bit.
Push. Let's do it.
Because earlier you made the comment that Qui-Gon to you seems to be the most wise, the most calm, and all these great attributes. Okay. Which I totally agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I actually would put, at least at this point in the Star Wars timeline, I would put Count Dooku as more of a neutrally gray character.
I could go with that.
And I would lean that Qui-Gon is more of the good guy in his entire span, actually.
Interesting.
In fact, I would even put him higher morally than I would Luke Skywalker. Honestly.
Ooh. Ooh.
I think he is seeing things on a different level than both Count Dooku is and the Council are. And I think he's closer to what a Jedi should be than all of them are. This is why I want more Qui-Gon Jinn stuff.
I would love more Qui-Gon Jinn stuff. Man, you've got me thinking. That's good. We could almost do another episode just on that Jedi Code and all that.
Okay, write it down.
Okay, done deal. I'm writing it down. Here we go. Jedi Code. So be it, Jedi.
So Choices was a very good episode, and it really makes you think a lot about the whole council and the position the council takes and the position that Dooku takes compared to it. Now, do you think that Mace Windu had this planned, that he knew that he was going to take her place?
I do think he knew.
You do?
I do.
I'm still struggling with it. I'm not sure. Part of me says, yeah, he knew. There's part of me that leans with Count Dooku on this.
Mhm.
But then there's
Well,
that side of me that wants Mace to be that honorable, Jedi.
yeah. The only reason I say I think he knew was because the two of them went out on the mission together, and yet it was Mace who ended up having a conversation with the council outside of Dooku. So if they were both in the running together, why did they not have that conversation with both of them at the same time? And or
Because they were upset with his tactics.
okay.
That's what I would say. That's my guess.
So rather than confronting friction or tension head on, they just went ahead and did it with Mace, which is why I'm still thinking they were already having conversations with him in the first place.
Don't you think that sounds like the council though? That's
yeah.
They shut people out. They
Yeah,
shut out Jedi.
Yeah. This series, and we're really moving into the Sith Lord episode 2, everybody. But the this is putting a new spin for me on what was happening. Now, Palpatine with the Senate and stuff going on. Now, Palpatine was using it, and it's almost a more incredible mastermind of who he is as a character, as an evil character, and I love that. But how he used the problems in the Senate to turn Jedi.
Yeah, now I think there's a big difference between Palpatine and Count Dooku.
Agreed.
One of the videos I was watching, somebody had made the comment that Count Dooku, his character is much more political, where he's on a political level where I think in a way his character actually means well. He's not morally bad. You know what I mean?
Right.
He actually is trying to make changes through the political system for the better, for the good of the people, is what I believe that Count Dooku is trying to do. And I think he was led into the dark side because of
how about this? I think I may be tracking with you. Do the ends justify the means?
Yes.
And I think the thing is what's happening, we're seeing a progression of a guy who's been trying to play by the rules and is starting to get more frustrated and more frustrated and more frustrated. Right. And is just like, granted, do I agree with him taking the law into his own hands?
Right. Yeah. I don't excuse his tactics. Well, I'm not excusing that.
But I'm understanding it more. Much more better. I'm understanding his motivations and stuff. Cha-ching.
Right. Agreed. Yes.
And why he's frustrated and does what he does.
I think this made his character much more interesting than it ever has been. I've never really been interested in Count Dooku. Now I am. Now you got me. These are good stories.
They are great stories. Yes. And I think I liked him because nothing was drawn out.
No.
Nothing was drawn out. Yeah.
Got the point.
And just for the record, everybody, Steven did not once do a Steven skip.
Wow,
just saying. Not
amazing.
once.
There wasn't enough time to do Steven skips in these.
I mean, right?
It was so funny because one would end and Brenda's like, "That's it." I'm like, "Yeah, these are just 15-minute episodes. Right. Nice, quick, and simple, fast." I loved it. It was nice. All right, you want to take the next one?
Yeah, let me do number 4 because we're really already kind of in it. But after Qui-Gon informed the High Council of his encounter with Darth Maul in Tatooine, Dooku warns him that the Council will not take him seriously. After Qui-Gon's death, Yaddle discovers that Dooku has been collaborating with another Sith Lord, Darth Sidious. Confronting them, Yaddle is killed by Dooku.
Okay, I gotta say, Yaddle looks way better in animation than she does in live action.
I saw an article from a website go, Yaddle speaks normally, which tells us that Yoda's been trolling us the whole time.
No, actually, I read about that. I read something.
Oh, okay.
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 So Dave Filoni was asked about that. Because when they said that they were gonna, because we've never really had Yaddle speak in anything.
That's
You know,
yeah, not that I'm aware
she
of.
just sat on the council. She didn't say anything. um, but so when they brought up that they were going to put Yaddle in this, Dave Filoni was asked, so is Yaddle going to speak in that backwards talk that Yoda uses? And he was uh, he was adamant that no, um, Yoda's race is not like that. The reason Yoda speaks like that is in tribute to his master
Mm-hmm.
who spoke like that. So Yoda just does it as a tribute to his former master. It has nothing to do with his race. So that means that when we finally hear Grogu speak, he's not going to speak like Yoda, even if Yoda is his dad.
Yeah.
Because at some point, Yoda and
Yaddle
Yaddle
got busy.
and they had a little Yodelehi who or a Yodelehi Gruhu.
Grogu. Yodelay Grogu.
No, we don't know if that's the case, and I don't.
We don't know,
actually,
but it's fun to
oh, that's
have
hilarious.
fun with it.
I
Yeah.
mean, they're the only Yodas we know. So,
Right.
and one's a male, the other's a female, and now we have a baby.
Yep.
Well,
So
1
guess-
+ 1 = 2.
So guess who voiced Yaddle? Do you know this?
Oh, yeah. I had seen this, but I don't remember. So go ahead and take it.
Bryce Dallas Howard.
Right, and she played a character in the latest video game, right?
No. She is the daughter of Ron Howard,
Oh,
and she directed some episodes of The Mandalorian.
oh, okay, cool.
Yep.
She was great. I loved Yaddle in this.
Yeah.
Because
Absolutely loved it.
before my only thoughts of Yaddle was, God, she's ugly.
Yeah. How did her and Yoda hook up?
I mean, Yoda's not exactly the best looking little frog on the planet, but man, boy in the movie, she's ugly.
Yeah. I adored the character development they did with Yaddle.
Yeah.
Someone very knowledgeable, someone very gracious. Dooku, we can bring you back from this. We can,
Yes.
No matter what's happened, we can work through together. I am on your side. And I love that. I was just like, oh my goodness, just so much more to this character and fleshed out. And then when the big cog or the big gate came right down on her, I was like, oh,
Well, before we get to that, we
squish.
had the reveal that she left the council.
Yes.
And she actually said she was on Dooku's side.
Mm-hmm.
That was interesting because
Yeah,
that
there
puts
was
her and Yoda at odds.
It does. Yeah.
I
Oh,
found
man.
that intriguing too. And I'm
I
sitting
hate
here
to be
going,
at that dinner table that night.
You ain't kidding. So we know they got it on before she left the council.
Right. Oh gosh.
Yeah, maybe that's it. They got it on, and then she left the council. That's what.
Right. But it is.
I guess the timeline doesn't work though.
Yeah, it does tell me there was a start of movement amongst the council, some disagreement with how things were being handled and how things were being viewed. And it almost makes me wonder with Mace Windu a little bit more about his character.
Oh,
that
yeah.
staunch belief, that staunch opinion, that staunch you got to go by the rules kind of framework. And
Yeah, he's the kind of guy it's 100%. That's we follow the rules 100%.
110%.
10%. That's right. Don't make Mace angry. You wouldn't like him when he's angry,
That's right.
because then he's going to be all MFing you.
Right.
Look here.
Yeah. Just the storytelling was just fabulous. I don't think I can talk enough about it. Just the whole story with Count Dooku surrounding it, the push of the Senate. You've got some Senate leaders that are being, the first 2 episodes of Dooku's storyline were all about bad Senate leaders.
Oh, yeah.
Bad senators, excuse me. And then the 3rd episode was really about bringing in more about the Jedi Council. About they're kind of lost their way a little bit, or they're, what's your role and purpose, and
well, and that was George Lucas's original idea. He wanted to show flaws in the council. So, and these are all written by Filoni. Filoni was handpicked and trained, by the creator himself. So, Dave, you're gonna follow my blueprints. It's like poetry. It rhymes.
Yep. All right. Well, so last little bit, Yaddle, when the gate came down on her, I was like, oh no, squish.
Yeah.
And then I loved it how all of a sudden it starts moving, coming up, and the sun is coming behind her. Just that, whoa, kind of a thing.
And then we get that moment where Dooku really does go to the dark side.
That was the moment. Yeah.
Yeah. I think right after that, I think that's when Darth Sidious deems him Darth Tyrannus.
Yes, agreed.
Granted, we didn't get that in the episode, but
you shall have a new name,
right?
Darth Tyrannus.
Darth Vader. Oh no, wait. I've got that.
I'm saving that one. Yeah, I'm saving that one.
Saving that one. You don't get that one. I'm gonna call you Darth Tyrannus. Sounds better than Dooku.
Right.
Dooku sounds like you just went to the bathroom. Anyway.
But it does put perspective the rest of the prequel trilogy.
I agree.
It gives some great. Yeah,
wait
I'm
going
to go back and.
So that makes the prequels much more better.
Makes the prequels much more better. Cha-ting.
For all you prequel haters out there.
I do enjoy the prequels.
I do too, actually. I do too. All right, we ready to move on to the next one?
Yes, and as we move on back to Ahsoka, I'm going to test this, everybody, to see if this works. So Here we go. I'm going to make this bigger, turn this up, and then let's see if this works. So those who are listening, what I'm doing is I'm going to try to share the screen to show.
Oh, did you get the owl?
I did. And I'm going to see if it works. Yes, dude. Watch parties.
All I see is a bunch of mushroom Smurf houses.
Watch. Let me know if you hear it, everybody, too. Here we go.
Oh, wow.
And
There's
there.
the owl. Nice.
Did you hear it? Did you hear it too? Could you hear it?
Yeah, I could hear it. Yeah. Yeah. Very cool.
Oh yeah, we're so doing watch parties, everybody. So there was the owl. So there's the owl. We could do watch parties. Yeah, I'm so excited. Okay.
We're still learning, folks.
We are still learning how to use StreamYard and also I'm very excited about that. So hopefully there wasn't anything of that scene. It was short enough that we won't get dinged for it.
Well, we didn't talk about The Rock, so nice.
Oh, well, there it goes. Well, wah, wah.
72 countries, folks.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Sage Page said the audio was great. Perfect.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. So episode 5, is entitled Practice Makes Perfect. Disappointed with a battle simulation she has to fulfill, Anakin devises rigorous exercise for his Padawan, Ahsoka, where she has to overcome a group of clones practicing the drill for years. Ahsoka is able to survive during Order 66. Now, honestly, this whole episode was just a build-up to Order 66. The entire episode. because we even get the moment when Rex is taking her in to the rest of the troops, and that's when he says, I hope all that training paid off. And now we know what that line actually means.
Uh-huh.
And it was pretty cool. I liked it. I liked it because it showed how Anakin doesn't buy into the normal training of the Jedi, the just classic, this is what a Jedi does to train and everything.
Mhm.
Anakin goes on his own and he does his own thing.
Mhm.
I think it really brings out his skill as both a Jedi and as both a master to train a Padawan. I think
Mhm.
that's cool. This was a neat episode. Got a
Yes.
little redundant, you know, but I think the
Mhm.
redundancy had a purpose. So
Agreed. I enjoyed it because it gave me the picture or the storytelling behind the scenes of, again, where Anakin is and where the Jedi Council is about training. And well, we've always done it this way, or
right.
it's almost like, well, we've already got it outlined. You just got to follow the outline. Where I think with Qui-Gon, with Dooku, and even with Anakin, we're beginning to see this push of we got to think outside the box. It's changing.
I hate that saying, but you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah,
it's just a cliche saying I get tired of. But no, you're absolutely right. I agree totally.
yeah. And I think it's the beginning for me is now understanding why there needed to become balance in the Force.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That
So it does almost give you the feeling that Anakin really was the chosen one, that he really was the one who was supposed to bring balance to the Force, but he gets lost along the way.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
so oh gosh, the prophecy was not translated or interpreted wrong.
It was interpreted by those who were still within the box. And it just goes to show that sometimes with context determines meaning in, even within the prophecy, just looking at the prophecy for what it was. But sometimes our own situations, our own personalities, our own frameworks, and the Jedi Council frameworks, we presuppose onto the prophecy. We presuppose our own ideas onto it rather than letting the prophecy speak
Play
for
out.
itself. Play out. I like that.
Ooh,
yes.
That's good. That's good. Wow. As we'd say in the church, that could preach. Nice. Well, I don't have a lot more to say.
Stay tuned, everybody, because Steven's about to start the first Jedi church. No, I'm just teasing. I'm not doing that.
Oh no, you wouldn't be starting the first.
Well,
that was established in England. So,
that's true. That's
years
true.
ago. That's the Jedi
right.
church was
forgot about that.
Established. All right.
Okay, number 6, resolve. Okay, after Padme Amidala's death in the Fall of the Republic, depicted in Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, my favorite movie, everybody, by the way. That's my favorite Star Wars movie. Ahsoka goes into hiding and becomes a farmer. After a farmer she saves realizes her true identity, the village is massacred by an Inquisitor. Ahsoka kills the Inquisitor and joins the rebellion.
Now, this was loosely taken from the novel Ahsoka.
Okay.
I kept trying to remember. I'm like, I don't think this was actually one of the stories, but it fits that novel beat for beat. Because in the novel, she's kind of planet hopping and hiding is what she's doing. She's kind of doing the Obi-Wan thing, except Obi-Wan mostly stays in one place.
Okay.
As we saw from the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. But so she's like planet hopping. She's trying to fit in with different cultures and just hiding herself as much as she can. And and then when the Inquisitor shows up, I didn't think he was an Inquisitor at first.
I didn't think so either.
I thought he was Darth Nihilus at first.
Oh
yeah, I got really excited too. I was like, they're bringing Darth Nihilus into this. That's pretty awesome.
He looked great.
He did.
Looked
But man,
fabulous.
she took him down quick though. I was
Mhm.
like, oh man, I kind of wanted him to stick around just a little longer than what he did.
Well, it was only a 16-minute episode, so
I know, but it's the Darth Maul thing. You make a bad guy that cool looking and then take him out that quick. It's like, you gotta give him some more screen time.
right.
I mean, there should at least been another episode with him or something. He's too cool looking to just, I'm glad Ahsoka did, and I'm glad it was Ahsoka that did it because it just
Mhm.
shows that she has become a very powerful Jedi, and I love
Mhm.
that. But gosh, again, it's the Darth Maul factor.
I liked it that it showed her prowess. She has not suffered any, if that makes sense. Her abilities have,
Yeah, she's not the premature, she's not the immature teenager that we see in the early days of the Clone Wars.
she's no longer Snips.
Oh God, I hate that. Thank God that wasn't in here. Lord have mercy. I hate Snips and Sky Guy.
Yeah.
First couple
Right.
seasons are very cringeworthy because of that, but yes. Thank God we moved on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and R2E. R2E. That's something that used to drive me up a wall.
Right.
When she call R2D2. R2E. R2. It's not R2E. It's R2. Stop
Yeah.
it. Just stop it.
Yeah. All in all, these are both stories, one about Ahsoka, one about Count Dooku, and both were fabulous.
Oh, yes.
At the end, when she's using her communique from Jimmy Smith, not Jimmy Smith, he plays the
Yeah.
Organa, Senator Organa.
Bail Organa.
Yeah.
Princess Leia's adopted dad.
Yes. I like that. And then at the very end, it was the little, you ready to get back in the game kind of a thing. And there's a little nod where she was like, yeah.
That's the kickoff to Rebels right there. That's going into Rebels when she becomes the what did they call her? The not linchpin. I forget what her code name was.
Oh, right.
Gosh, I can't think of what it
It's
is.
going to drive us crazy now.
Gosh, I can't remember. Something pin.
Fulcrum.
Oh, Fulcrum. That's it. Fulcrum.
Yes.
Okay, so I was wrong. It wasn't pin, but anyway, yeah, she becomes Fulcrum.
Yeah. Yeah, here's in the Star Wars Rebels fandom, it says Fulcrum was a code name assigned to several rebellion operatives to hide their identities. The idea was conceived of by Ahsoka Tano, who was the most prominent agent to have gone by this name.
Right.
Ooh, right on. And there's where she comes back. Yeah. Yep. I'm pumped for the Ahsoka series, by the way.
So, do you think there'll be more Tales of the Jedi after this? Do you think they'll do another one?
Well, the door's open for it. It's almost in the same vein of Rebels and Clone Wars. The 3
No, it's more like
arcs.
Visions.
Well,
and
Visions
is getting a season 2. So
are they really?
Yep.
Ooh, exciting. Okay.
I know Visions is focused on Japanese anime.
Right, that style and stuff. This is more leaning towards the Clone Wars and Rebels and that style. I don't know, or Bad Batch even.
With the Tales label, you can tell any Star Wars story,
any Jedi story, and I'm all down for Jedi stories.
So it's almost like an anthology within the series.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, they are continuing with these stories. They are continuing to fill gaps, but it's almost in that anthology style.
I would watch it. I would watch another season. I would love another season.
Heck yeah. I love the format. I think it's a great format.
Mhm.
You know, and as long as the
Mhm.
storytelling is as good as this, and you leave Dave Filoni in charge, and I think you're going to continue to get that great storytelling.
Yep. Yep. Agreed. Agreed.
After all,
Well,
he was trained by George Lucas.
yeah. Here's where he's headed. Here's what he's doing. Here's what's behind it all. So yeah. Absolutely loved it. Loved it. Loved it. Loved it. Loved it. So yeah. So I'm down for more. I'm down for more.
Me too. Me too.
Yep.
All right.
Woo. Well, with that, everybody, we're an hour and 20 in. Great discussions. Great to see everybody in the chat. Thanks so much for joining us. Don't forget to check out our website, www.2geeks. Oh, you know what? I did not put those in here.
Well, you're getting used to new things and new ways of doing things. So
Right. So let me see if I could do it on the fly. 2geeksmike.com. Add banner. And let's see what this looks like. There we go.
hey, that looks good too.
2geeksmike.com. Also, check out our Ko-fi page. So that's www.kofi.com. And that's going to be /2geeks. See, we're doing this in real time, everybody. There we go.
And Kofi's just there to help us to fund the things such as StreamYard.
Yes.
You know, just the things that we need to do this website or do this podcast, because
Yes.
podcasting ain't free, folks.
Right. Look, I've got it as a ticker now.
Oh,
scrolling
cool.
at the bottom of the screen.
Nice. Now you're really playing around with things.
I am really playing around, everybody. So yeah, but we do thank you so much for your help in just helping us do this, and and I appreciate it because now I get to see Mike's orange goatee.
Yeah, for a few weeks until it finally washes out. I'm gonna go see how much of it'll wash out right after I'm done with this.
Absolutely.
I don't think much of it's gonna wash out, so it's probably gonna be there for a little while.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, and we just did record a new classic sci-fi for the Ko-fi subscribers. We did They Live, one of my personal favorite films, with the great Rowdy Piper.
Right on.
We've come to chew bubblegum and to kick ass. And we're all out of bubblegum. So yeah, if you want to see that, go over to Ko-fi, buy us a coffee. You can watch that. Steven's going to put up the audio sometime this weekend.
This weekend. Yep.
Yes. So that will be ready to go out to the $2 subscribers, and $3 subscribers get the video.
Yep.
And then of course you get access to our Discord, which we still are figuring out.
Yeah, we haven't done much with Discord, everybody. We're still trying to get that squared away. Excuse me. But how cool would it be? We all do now I got to figure out how to use StreamYard for doing watch parties.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It would be good.
Cool. All right.
That would be good. All right, man. Well, thank you, everybody. Thanks for joining us. I really appreciate it. This was a great episode, great topics. Thank you, Mike, for bringing up all the news and stuff like that. That was really interesting, and great discussions. Always love talking some Jedi action, and this was no exception. So with that, thanks, everybody. Mike, it's up to you to sign us out.
Okay. Make sure to go like us on Facebook, on YouTube. Make sure and like our videos. Go hit the little button and the bell thingy, all that stuff. You know, all the YouTube stuff, all the things that all the other YouTubers say. But it does help the algorithm for people to find us. And if you haven't yet, please go and rate and review our podcast on your podcast platform of choice if you are a audio listener. And we really appreciate you guys. So with that said, over and out, and may the force be with you. Thank you for joining us today on the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast. Tune in next week when we will have more news and reviews. Until then,
May the force be with you.